Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Wednesday, February 20th, 2019. I'm Fredicia Liburd. A number of vehicles and other equipment were recently donated to the island of Nevis, courtesy of the Japanese Grant Aid for Economic and Social Development in St. Kitts and Nevis. Director of the Nevis Disaster Management Department, Brian Dyer, was instrumental in procuring the gifts.
Behind us we have the fountain loaders. Those will be used for clearing roads in the event of an emergency and also for assisting with beach nourishment in the event of erosion after severe wave action. The vehicles would be used in the various ministries for response mechanisms. In the warehouse, we have 3 small warehouses that will receive that would be used in the communities as satellite warehouses, where we'll be storing a number of emergency supplies so the volunteers in the various communities can act responsibly in the immediate aftermath of any emergency or crisis for a period up to 2 days before the professional help arrives. We have a number of equipment in those warehouses that include rescue ropes, backboards, wheelchairs, first aid kits, vests, etc., that will be used in emergencies, and chainsaws.
According to Dyer, a second set of equipment is due to arrive on the island within the next 2 months.
To come in the month of April, we'll have a medical vehicle for use with the Ministry of Health. And we also have generators that will be used at the community centers when they are operated in emergencies. We also have a quantity of tarpaulins and other equipment that will be here. We will be also receiving some CCTVs for the disaster management compound. And we also have some VHF radios that will be installed in the community centers and the vehicles that are on display at this time.
Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, who is also St. Kitts and Nevis's Minister of Foreign Affairs, noted that in terms of international assistance, Japan is now focused on disaster preparedness.
I think well over a year ago, largest through the efforts of Troy Liburd, the Minister Troy Liburd, who's here, when he was formerly at Public Works, to put together a list that we sent to them. So we are making Nevis more resilient. We are making the island better equipped to deal with storms when they come and other disasters as they come. And whilst we pray that they won't come, it is important that we be prepared in the event that they do come. And I think that that is important. It is for me as Premier of Nevis to thank the government and people of Japan for this very generous donation, for this very generous investment that they've made in the development of our island. And I think that all of us should be proud this morning, all of us should be happy this morning that we're seeing the fruits of that continued engagement with important countries such as Japan in terms of what they've offered. I gather that the technical experts are going to be here to assist in training in the use of some of this equipment, and I am beseeching, as I always do, the various ministries and departments who get this equipment kindly to take care of it.
Also examining the equipment were other members of the Nevis Island Administration, including Minister responsible for disaster management, the Honourable Alexis Jeffers, and top officials in his ministry, Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Spencer Brand, and top officials in his ministry, as well as Minister of Social Development, the Honourable Eric Evelyn. Today, Wednesday, February 20th, the Department of Youth and Sports launched a program called Youth Impact 12 in an effort to celebrate the nation's youth for their outstanding achievements in the community. The program, which is the brainchild of former Director of Youth Development, Zanella Claxton, is geared towards identifying and awarding remarkable young people in specific areas. Senior Youth Officer in the Department of Youth, Curtis Clark, gave details about the program.
So the general goals of this program are to recognize the outstanding achievements of our young people, to encourage and motivate young people to strive for excellence irrespective of their area of interest, to encourage young people to be positive role models in their communities, and to identify 12 young people to serve as ambassadors for the Department of Youth each year. Applicants must be a resident of Nevis for a minimum of 5 years, must be between the ages of 18 and 30. Family members cannot be considered as nominators, nor can they be considered as references. All nomination forms must be accompanied by a biography and a passport-sized photo. All nationalities are welcomed.
Clark also expressed her gratitude to all who played a pivotal role in the initiating of the program.
I must take this opportunity to commend my staff for their assiduous work as it pertains to constructing the Youth Impact 12 program, and I must also express my gratitude for former Director of Youth, Ms. Zanella Claxton, for bringing to our awareness the need for us to have such a program of this nature. I'm appealing to all young people, take advantage of this opportunity. We have initiated this program for you, and we hope that we would see myriads of nomination forms submitted, so that of course we can further understand the wealth of contributions and achievements that would have been made by our young people.
Nomination forms and brochures on the Youth Impact 12 program can be collected at the Department of Youth and Sports on the second floor of Reliable Motors Miniplex, Charlestown. Persons can also contact the Department of Youth and Sports at 469-5521, extension 6710 or 6711. The government-owned quarry at New River Estate has been able to ship another 3,000-ton load of aggregate to St. Kitts in the space of 1 month. The Honorable Alexis Jeffers, Minister responsible for Natural Resources and Chairman of the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation's Board of Directors, was on site at Long Point on Tuesday, February 19th.
I am highlighting all of these activities because in the past the questions were raised as to whether we could have done this or whether we can or whether we can't. We have always said yes, we can, and we have certainly demonstrated over the years that we can certainly do just what we are doing today. We do have the capacity, we do have the temperament, and we do have what it takes in terms of the resources, the manpower, the equipment that we have invested heavily in to accomplish what we are doing today. We have now set our eyes on making this just about a monthly or even 6 weeks turnaround in terms of shipment. Once the demands are there, we certainly will continue to supply these aggregates. Minister
Jeffers stated that the quarry is still supplying the local market here on Nevis.
Even though we are supplying this 3,000-ton badge with stones today, we continue to supply the local market. At least there are 2 concrete plants on the island of Nevis that patronize us every single day. So it means we are crushing, we are stockpiling, and we are also shipping. So it says that we are doing what it takes to maintain the necessary levels of supplies that we are capable of doing.
Minister of Natural Resources in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Still to come,
we have several artists from Nevis participating, so we are inviting all on the island of Nevis to make early preparation to be there.
The details after this break.
Trouble, trouble, trouble. Let me go. Everybody now. That one you go mad. We are gonna push forward. I want to hear everybody say ready, ready.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism in the Nevis Island Administration is hosting a 5-day community tourism workshop at the Albertha Payne Community Center in Bath Village. The opening ceremony for the workshop took place on Tuesday, February 19th, when facilitator Leonard Stapleton gave the overview.
Today, we will start with destination knowledge. Day 2 would focus mostly on the rich history of Bath Village. Day 3 would focus on how to deliver, how to actually be a proper tour guide. Day 4 and Day 5 would be a demonstration. I would demonstrate, you take your notes, and then Day 5 would be your turn to give the tour of Bath Village. So it's supposed to be fun and engaging, and I know for sure, I don't expect you to come out at the end of the course the same way you went in, okay? And that's the model you should take whenever you give a Bath Village tour. The person should not be the same way they started the tour with you. You must have touched something.
The facilitator also offered his services to the Ministry of Tourism.
This 5 days is like a seed planted. It is a good seed, and it's supposed to be a good fruit, but with any seed, it needs watering, okay? So I expect that there should be some follow-up, because what I learned in terms of doing this similar project in St. Kitts is that even though the course is a blast, the people usually need a little helping hand afterwards. So I would still make myself available to help you in the different aspects of touring.
Also present at the opening ceremony were Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, John Hanley, and the Tourism Education Officer, Vanessa Webb, who chaired the ceremony. The invocation was done by Pastor Eversley Pemberton, and resident of Bath Village, Alcette Myers, recited a poem. A number of activities are planned for this weekend as the National Unity Government continues its 4th anniversary celebrations. The theme is Team Unity, making dreams a reality in every community.
On Friday the 22nd, there will be a Federal Health Expo and College Fair taking place at Independence Square. We invite the entire public on the island of Nevis and St. Kitts to come and be part of what promised to be a very exciting day involving the young, not so young, those perhaps who need certain health services will get more information about them. It will involve both the government sector and the private sector in this particular activity.
2 events will take place on Sunday, February 24th.
We have another church service on the island of St. Kitts, this time the Zion Moravian Church on Victoria Road. This will be at 9:30 a.m. We invite the public to come and to worship with us at the Zion Moravian Church. And then on that night, starting at 6 p.m., we have a gospel extravaganza, if you will, and Greenland's pasture. We have as our special attraction Nicole Balosing. She's out of Trinidad, and out of Jamaica, the prodigal son. I'm advised they are 2 of the best available at any time.
Transportation to the concert will be provided for persons from Nevis who will be attending.
Of course, as part of the local lineup, we have several artists from Nevis participating. So we are inviting all on the island of Nevis to make early preparation to be there. We are going to try and end that concert around 10 p.m. so that persons have reasonable time to get back to Nevis. Of course, you can overnight if you so determine, and you're welcome to do so. So that is the program up until Sunday. Of course, if there are any alterations, we will certainly put them in the public domain.
That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.